Good morning to you 857 subscribers, welcome. Saturday morning. Don't normally do Saturdays, but the guys have decided, due to being a bit behind, to come on in and do some work on the pool. So we are technically day 16 of the pool build. Today what they're doing is they're plastering the front return. Obviously, like I showed you yesterday, they're getting that done so they obviously can get the mosaics done on the sun shelf. The infinity edge. And they're also doing the mosaics on the sun shelf as we speak. So they're doing the rear, and I think they're going to try and get the actual base done as well before the day is over. I'm not going to be around to do some filming today, but I'll show you where they are as we are now, and then when I come back later this evening, I'll do a quick update if there's light, because it does get dark here very early. Before I carry on, obviously new subscribers are welcome. Hit me with a subscription down below if you see the video, and some thumbs up if you've got any thumbs up to give. That would be greatly appreciated. To say, today's not going to be a full-on day, it's just going to be obviously the guys doing the pool. So let me take you over and show you what they're doing at this present time. They're mixing up the tile mortar. I think that's what they're using to do the front, mixed with the cement. So mosaic's going on. Sorry about the wind. Okay, so our man is down here, getting the first trench on. So that will draw, and obviously when they do that, they're going to go about 3/4 of an inch on that. So obviously the rod, as they call it, but the boards are hung out and where they need them to be. So that's good. So that will enable them obviously to then mosaic completely across the top here, which is obviously one of the issues we showed you yesterday in the video, which I haven't uploaded yet, which I'll try and do tonight. Obviously we're continuing around the sun shelf as we speak. So the whole base of the sun shelf will be done, and the 6 rows all the way around. So it'll be 6 on here, and I think they're going to do 3 on the other side. So it does mean that it'll have a one whole sheet that will come up and across, because it's 10 on the top, 3 on the front, they're 13 wide, and then they'll do a separate 3 around the back. So this is where we are. What does everyone think of the blue colour we picked? Any good? It's a lighter blue because the actual pool colour is quite a light blue as well. So I think we want one of the darker colours. It wouldn't look as nice. So yeah, I think it looks quite nice with the light blue. And obviously once the water's in it, the colour completely changes. You're going to have a slight bit of blue to make the pool really blue. So this is going to be quite a light, a mid, strong blue. So I think it should go darker, hopefully. But anyway, I'll check in with you a bit later on. Thanks for watching. Any comments, let me know. So I didn't come back to finish off, so I thought I'd just quickly show you what happened yesterday. So, got a bit more of the sun shelf done. Got to cut all these along here to get them in there. And they're going to have to do a cut all the way in there as well, which is not going to be pretty. Infinity edge was done as well. I think they put it on a little bit too thick, or not moisturised it properly, because there was a lot of cracking on the top. They've done the back. I'm a little bit concerned about this cracking, so I'm not too sure what impact that could have. But anyway, that's where we are so far. So still plenty of work to be done. So hopefully tomorrow they'll have a full team here. I'm going to text them and just make sure they are going to be here, because they have unfortunately let me down a little bit with regards to workload. Make sure they're all here tomorrow and trying so we can make an impact on this tomorrow. So I will check in with you at that point. Okay, so this is Monday. We'll have the same video from Saturday onto Monday, but rather than loading a separate one, we'll just continue us into Monday. Saturday, obviously, there's a little bit done, obviously, which I filmed earlier on. And unfortunately, again, the guys haven't managed to get here until 10:30. So we've got another delay. So I'm not too sure what's how it's gonna affect the end completion date. I've got no idea. It was meant to be a 2 to 3 week job, so I can't see us getting to the point where this is going to be done any sooner than 5 weeks minimum, I would have thought. Well, if they can commit to coming here and being here with the whole team for a full day, they could get this done in the next week. But it seems at the moment, like most contractors, they've got quite a few other jobs on at the moment, and they are obviously harvesting. Just juggling people from job to job to job. So all the time I'm getting people here, skilled people here for 4 hours a day. This is just going to go on for at least another 2 weeks minimum. The mosaic tiles are bloody simple to do. Obviously they're massive great sheets, so it's not hard to get that bit done. But now, within reason, the mosaic shelf, apart from the cut at the front and the fill at the back, is nearly done. So from my point of view, it's now just really the inner. Sorry, you've got to do the pool edge. Obviously that was done, that was plastered on the other side, and the top was done on Saturday. So now, if they cut that edge, which he's doing at the moment, so remember the edge was slightly off and slightly fat, they're cutting that now to make sure that's equal, and then we'll have a 6 on the front, 10 at the top and 6 on the other side. So once that's actually done, then it is literally pool product. The pool product could be done quite quickly, but obviously then you've got the tiling here, which rule of thumb, it took about a week to do that one there. So I would say it's going to be another week to do the other one. So we've got the rest of this week to get the mosaics done and the pool done and the trough done, and at least another week for that. So you are literally 5 weeks. That's if they can get the guys here. At the moment, it seems to be that, you know, like every contractor, you've got too many jobs going on at the same time and a lack of labour, so you have to juggle that labour to get the work done. And obviously people like me, who don't shout too much, I'm trying not to shout because I don't want to upset them. They're a good contractor. But if they're not here, it's not going to work. So I'm trying my hardest not to moan at them, otherwise it just gets to the point where sometimes it gets worse. I'm trying to encourage them to be here. But that doesn't seem to be making the impact on them as it should be. Anyway, I don't want to moan about it. At the moment, I'm just gutted that at the end of the day we should be bombing in that as of last Friday, and we've got at least another 2 weeks before I can even contemplating tucking the old knees up and unleashing a bomb on it. Positive note, Shelvin's been out here now concreting around the outside, so we're using the render rock to fill the gaps in and around the manholes. So obviously they were sprayed in and done at the weekend. As you can see, he's putting some render rock in here and letting that dry. That's what the soil looks like underneath here. This black does keep it soft, so I'm not too sure where he's showing is. He's probably around the front, I would have thought, but as you can see, he's putting the actual render rock round the outsides. So anything that's got quite a large gap, he's been render rocking. This mud underneath here, rolled as well. The stuff he's put underneath. That one's been render rocked as well. Look. So it's just taking up any slack, anything that with the guys had to sort of do, you know, from a hammer and chisel point of view to get the manhole in, plus the disc shape that we may have had from the boxing. We're just trying to fill that in and make it look a little bit prettier. I probably would have smoothed that off a little bit, otherwise that's going to go hard. He's going to have to break that off. But anyway, that'll be done. There's still no drainage on the island in stock, so we can't do anything with that. Look at that dust. So there's nothing we can do on that at the moment. That really is, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do. We're going to have to just wait until that comes in. Fingers crossed it'll be soon so I can get that finished off. But to a certain extent, the rainy part of our season is now, hopefully, behind us. And the temperature has dropped, which has been nice. This one here was all smoothed in and done nicely anyway, so we don't have to worry about that one. He did that one completely. Maybe we should have done the same with all of them. And he's down there at the moment doing some of the render rock filling. We're still waiting for the contractor also that did the manholes to make this manhole and the other two around the back as well. So I've chased him, but we don't seem to be getting anywhere with that. And on top of that, he's meant to be giving us a price to do the door as well into the pump room, which he hasn't done that either at the moment. So I need to get that made. And judging by the delay I'm having with most things with these guys, bloody hell, look at that dust. Shit me. I mean, I just spray that with water. It just saves it, obviously doing what it's doing. Also prolongs the life of the diamond blade as well, by the way. Yeah, so from my point of view, if we need to get that door done. I can't see the pool contractor doing the door. I think that's going to be something that's going to be lumbered on me to do. So it may be something I'm going to have to start looking at some stage. This is the other manhole at the moment that hasn't been made, so that needs to be done as well. Down here is all pretty much dried out. We do need to get all this filled. A parrot. There's a black parrot next door, or grey parrot. Loves a whistle. Yeah, so obviously we can't get that backfilled and done until we get the drainage in, so we'll leave that as it is for now. We will aim it so that the water can go into that drain just in case, and then we'll have to just extend this pipe in the meantime to ensure it can go straight into the manhole. We did make the hopper, so we'll maybe get the hopper connected onto here, so that we can at least catch most of the water and get it straight in there anyway. So that's something we can do and finish off today. So we're at 20 to 1. Yeah, fingers crossed I can get the guys to commit to being here a bit more full-time this week to try and get this job finished. I'm not too sure I'm going to be able to do that, in all fairness. If they are here for the next 2 weeks, they should get this finished. But if they're going to be sporadic, you know, when I say sporadic, they were here for 4 hours on Friday. They're going to be on 4 hours on site today. If they're going to do 4 hours a day, then this is definitely going to be 2 to 4 weeks. And without being rude, that's one thing you need to do. When any contractor physically says that, you know, they're going to give you a price, I think the question you should ask is how many jobs you actually have on at this present time. Because what they do is they try and juggle materials, money and people across those jobs whilst they're doing what they're doing, and they're trying to pacify everybody. Now the downside is that's not your job to bear with them whilst they're pacifying people that they've over committed to. But you will end up receiving the back end of that if you don't ask those questions. I didn't ask the questions of this, but I did know he had 6 jobs on at the time. But I was under the impression from the 2 to 3 week turnaround time that he gave me for this, which I think is a 2-week job. If you had guys on here, a proper team there for 2 weeks, that's a 2-week job. But we're now going to be kicking into 4 weeks this week, and like I said, I think it's going to be 5 weeks. So anyway, I'm going to leave you to it for now. Children will be picked up in the next hour, and I will update you a little bit later on today on how things have gone so far. Fingers crossed they'll get at least the mosaic tiling that needs to be done today, but I'm not sure when that's going to be done either. Anyway, fingers crossed. Okay, we're 3:45. Just returned. We have mosaics all the way around. Not too sure it's over here done yet. I doubt it because of the steps. Yeah, so this side here as well goes all to the front. They've done the top of the actual infinity edge, and they've done the back as well. So the infinity edge has been done as well, which I'll show you in a second. Here I'm assuming they're going to land up trying to just grout in here and rather than tile. Not bad. Show me just how I'm posing down, trying to make things a little bit more dustless. That's one of the things, obviously, because of the amount of you know, you're either mixing up a plaster, mixing up a tile adhesive, cutting a tile, cutting the actual plaster itself, so the dust has been astronomical. Yeah, it'd be good to try and get it hosed off, one, to stop it all blowing into the house. I mean, the windows are absolutely completely messed at the moment, but obviously we'll wait for the job to finish first and then we'll give them a damn good clean. So yeah, it's just literally just de-dusting at the moment, trying to get as much of the dust off of the actual patio as possible, just to stop it blowing around everywhere. But yeah, let me show you very quickly. Let me spin it around. Okay, so sun shelf is pretty much done. I'm not too sure what they're going to do about the front, whether they're going to cut tile on here, whether they're going to cut back over with the blue or not. I'm not too sure. Obviously, they've been quite restrictive on what they can do here because of the straightness. So you obviously got the wall itself, but I think what we potentially should have done is just taken this bit out a little bit. You know, the arse, which is like the bend at the bottom should have been taken out a bit more, and that would have made those tiles there touch. So in the meantime, there's quite a gap in between those. So yeah, but you don't want to land up making the wall too off, obviously, but at the same time I think we probably could have lost a little bit of that there. But either way, you might have to just cut some tiles to go into that bit. So I'll talk to them obviously in a minute about what they intend to do about the gap here and obviously the edge all the way along. And then obviously from that tile itself, we're going to go straight down to the floor, and all of the steps and that wall are going to get done as well as behind, underneath there. So all that's been done, and then around here the guys have been working on the return and the infinity edge. So it's nice and square as well. Hopefully the water does go off. It does look like it's leaning back a little bit, but you never know. It obviously sometimes plays havoc on your eyes. But yeah, we'll have a 6 going along here, and then he's already doing the 6 on the front as it is now, so that will be the same. And then we'll be grey all the way through here up to the top wall here. So yeah, looking loads better. Again, the colour, just adding a bit more colour to the grey and cream that we have here is certainly making it look a lot better, that's for sure. So can't wait for it to be finished. Sherman's obviously carried on, continued work on the manholes today, so that's been filling all the gaps in and around the manholes, and then also putting concrete underneath the manholes to support the structure. He did half last week, and he's been finishing off the front as well today. But I said to him, that's 3, get around here and just get things sprayed down just to try and get rid of some of the dust. And I'll do along here because obviously he just doesn't want to get on the windows. So I'll get along here and get it all de-dusted here as well. And then we'll give it a brush off as well, because even though you spray it, it sits. You can feel the grit under your feet. So we'll get that done as well. But and we might even get you a sunset tonight. That is a stunning hot sun today, that's for sure. So yeah, I'll let these guys ramp down, feed the children, and then finish off the filming. In the meantime, don't forget what you've got to do. Okay, we're at 5:15, and we have got you a great sunset. Whew. Look at that. Little breeze, a few clouds, gorgeous sunset. Anyway, I tried to finish off the mosaics today, but didn't manage to get the steps in here done. So the bit around the corner here, the steps. I'm not too sure what they're going to do with this edge. I mean, really what they should have done is pulled a line on this edge here, just to make sure it's straight, and if anything, just to make sure the tiles are straight, even if this was or wasn't. It certainly would have helped them with the gap down the base here, because at the moment this shelf might not be straight. When you actually stand above the shelf and look down, for instance, you see their tiles going along and going in and out, so it's clearly something to do with the wall. So as long as there's enough adhesive behind it, which I'm not too sure, can't see adhesive squeezing through here, so I assume not. But I would have literally fasciated that. Even if I had to build that out with tile adhesive, I'd have made sure that that line there was dead straight, so I'm not having to do these little cut tiles like this. And then I would have probably started at that end and worked back to get here straight, and then I would have also cut the tile. Now, as a result of that, as you can see, you're getting this, and also down the line here. So you've got a gap all the way down here. That tile should have been butted up against that and all the way down here. If that one there was dead straight, these would all butt up against that. Worst case scenario, you'd have a little bit of a gap down here, which could have been minimised. So now we've got a big gap across the front, all the way along. We've got a gap all the way down the side, and we've got a gap all the way down the back. So I'm not too sure what's gone on there. Anyway, this tile coming out should have been on a dead straight line. So I probably would have done the first one, or I probably would have measured where's the first one off is off, probably that one there, drawn a line there, and then I would literally made sure that that measurement all the way down was dead straight, and I'd have packed those tiles out with tile adhesive to ensure that they all hit that line all the way along. And then I would have started at this end and made sure the tile was right on the very end, and I'd have gone back to each one of those, but I would have drawn a line on that first, pulled a line, lasered a line on there to ensure that in an ideal world all of the tiles are on the end going back, and if there's going to be a cut, I would put the cut all along there, but the cut would be exactly the same all the way along. So that will do my OCD in quite a lot, and it obviously is the place where you always sit as well, so it will do my OCD in loads. Hello. So in here, again, they've cut this corner off and shaved that, which is good. So we now have the 10 tiles at the top all the way along, and we've now got 10 tiles aiming all the way down there as well. So again, I'm not too sure what they're going to do about some of the blown parts, but we are again a gap here. I'm not too sure whether there's a gap there. Again, they've got to try and space these tiles out, obviously, because at the end of the day, this hasn't been made to ensure that every single tile sits on it 100%. So they've obviously tried to space out the tile a little bit down here, but you probably could have spaced that one slightly closer together and moved another one over here a little slightly apart, so it's not such a big gap. But anyway, once it's grouted and whatever else, you probably won't see it as much as you can see it now. It's just knowing that it's there. So that's been done all the way along. And obviously they've been able to return because they've had to plaster up. That's obviously hung over a bit too much, so they've plastered out. Now the downside to that is that you will get the tile doing this. So hopefully you won't see that too much. But that'll be the next step to be done. So I'm not too sure what the plans are tomorrow. Hopefully they are going to get here tomorrow, one with a few of them and two early rather than 11, 12 o'clock like they've been for the last couple of days. And the hope is that they can potentially start, finish that off first. That all needs mosaicing in here, so does the wall. Whatever's going on there needs to be patched up and sorted. What they're going to do though, I don't know. And then they need to start applying the actual blue plaster all the way through the pool. This has got to be done as well. This is the grey part, obviously, but I think they'll probably do that after they've done this part. Why are you saying that, would they, though? No, probably in here first. Grey in here first. Again, they're going to be doing this side, this top, down the side, down the floor, and then up to here. So they may very well do the grey first. Bear in mind, they've got to get to it from here. And then once they've done that, then they'll come back through and start doing the blue in the pool, I assume. And then once the blue is done and the grey is done and everything in here is completely grouted, then they'll come and finish the actual side tiles. So it'll be one large 24-inch tile here, and the offcut. They'll potentially do the offcut as well at the same time, so I can pull that track out and glue in the bit that I need once we finished. So anyway, it's looking better. It's not finished, obviously. I just hope this week they're going to end up having a lot more people in here that can try and help me get this done, because at the moment it's dragging on a little bit, and it's mainly because obviously there's been a lack of labour on site to get it knocked out. So fingers crossed. You can obviously just commit to being here and getting it completed. The sooner they get it completed, the sooner they can make some margin. The longer they're here, the less margin they make. So it's in their interest to get it done, obviously. Certainly in mine. They also need to get the edge done on the other side of the tile. One thing I haven't shown you is along here, I have been actually putting a tile adhesive all the way along, as you can see, to block that pipe. Now they haven't actually finished from here onwards, so that needs to be done, as you can see. And then what they're going to have to do when they tile here, they're going to have to do that side as well. So that will also have to be done. So yeah, that's pretty much where we are. Thanks for watching as always. Any new subscribers, welcome to the channel. Hopefully we can get a few more. If you share and like and comment, that will certainly help it. I'll upload this tonight. I also uploaded Fridays today as well, so sorry for the late catch up. But anyway, I'll also upload this one this evening as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.